Budget airlines like Ryanair offer amazing basic fares, but offer everything else as a paid add-on, and all these extra costs can add up fast. So in this video, these are my tips on saving money with budget airlines.
And that's why we're at Edinburgh Airport to take a short hop on Ryanair from here in Edinburgh over to Dublin. Because I want to tell you, or suggest to you, what I think are the worthwhile add-ons for a budget airline. But anyway, let's go inside, get through security, because I've already checked in online, and get on our way to Ireland. Let's go.
In most airports, budget airlines have their own dedicated area for bag drop.
Now, first things first, when it comes to actually going on a budget airline, what you need to think about is how much luggage you're going to take. Me personally, my rule of thumb is if it's 3 to 4 nights, I take just my rucksack, because it can go under the seat, which means you can purchase the lowest fare and not have to take any carry-on or check-in bags. It saves you a lot of money. So if you can pack for 3 to 4 nights in just a rucksack that will go under the seat in front, do that. It saves you a ton of money. The other thing to think about is, do you want fast-track security? A lot of budget airlines will offer you fast-track security. Personally, I never ever book fast-track security through an airline, simply because at most airports that offer fast-track security, there is a way of booking fast-track security at the airport on the day. So you can go to the security lines, find out if the security lines are really long, and then decide whether you want to spend that extra money and go through fast-track security that way. Personally, I think that's a much more cost-effective way than just booking in advance. But anyway, let's go get through security and actually see how long the queue is and see if we need fast-track security. And as it turns out, today we did not need fast-track security, so I've just saved myself £7 by not pre-booking. So always, always, always book at the airport. The airport will have a website as well where you can book it there if you can't get it done via machine or something like that. So it's always better to do it that way than through the budget airlines website. But anyway, I think it's time for a coffee, I think. Another good practice where you can save a bit of money is checking the prices of the onboard food on the airline first. And it might just be worth coming to the airport a few minutes early and getting something to eat before getting on your flight, especially if it's a short flight, an hour, 2 hours. Come to the airport and get something to eat or pick up a sandwich, and you'll save a bunch of money, because sometimes food on budget airlines can be really, really expensive. So yeah, top tip for that. I personally like getting food on airlines because it adds a bit to the video and gives me something to do while I'm on the airline. But if you're really wanting to save money, do it this way. Okay, just got sat down now with me coffee, and I got a bacon roll as well, which looks a very nice bacon roll actually. And all this came to £7.50, so a lot cheaper than buying it on board, definitely. I put up on screen the prices on board just now so you can compare. But most budget airlines charge a premium for onboard food. You're talking about £10 to £12 for things like toasties, and then like £4 for coffees and things like that. So you're saving about 50% just by shopping around in the airport before you get on board. So definitely recommend doing that if you want to save, again, a bit of money. But anyway, I'm gonna have this and then we'll be on our way to Dublin. Oh, it is nice coffee. Really strong, but nice coffee. Also, another thing that's a really good shout is, instead of buying water, bring an empty water bottle and see if the airport's got a place that you can fill it up. Cheaper than buying water on board, and it's much cheaper than buying bottles of water in the airport. Just another way to save money.
With boarding fast approaching, I checked the board for our gate and then headed over there.
Okay, it's gate 13, which is good for us because it's actually pretty close to where we were setted for coffee, so let's go get on board.
Getting to the gate, our flight was on the board and our plane was waiting on stand. And this is where airlines, when booking, try to charge you extra again. Most budget carriers will offer priority boarding as an extra. Generally, unless you have a specific personal reason for priority boarding, this is mostly a waste of money. For example, quite often you will be paying just to be put on a bus with all the other passengers, meaning you board at the same time anyway.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Here we are then, getting on board Ryanair to Dublin.
When boarding, most budget airlines will board from both the front and rear stairs, so make sure you go to the door that corresponds with your seat. This information will usually be on your boarding card.
This is on Ryanair now. The legroom, as you can see, is pretty good for a budget carrier, that is. I did manage to get my bag into the overhead locker. There was a bit of space left over, just shoved it up there. But yeah, it should be a quick 1 hour 10-minute flight over to Dublin. Not sure we'll be getting anything on board today. That's why I got something in the terminal, as you saw. Now, one thing I always add on as an extra is a seat. I always like to choose a seat. I always like to have a window seat, so chose my seat today. Got one of the forward ones because I like to be forward, because small tip for you, if you sit in front of the engines, the noise will be less for the entire flight. So if you like a bit of peace and quiet, or like it quieter, try and select one of the seats forward of the engines. There are websites out there, I'll link some below, that show you where the wings are for your seat selection. But anyway, let's get on our way to Dublin.
Once the doors were closed, we were pushed back to taxi our way out to the runway for takeoff. Just quickly, if you're liking this video, then why not go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date with all my travels, and don't forget to hit that bell icon. Taking off out of Edinburgh Airport, we have a roughly 1 hour 10-minute flight over to Dublin.
Okay, we have taken off out of Edinburgh. Flight time to Dublin should be about 1 hour 10 minutes. Crew's just about to start by on board service, so might get a coffee. Not going to get any food. Had food at the airport, so not really hungry at all. Anyway, should be a pretty short but pleasant flight. Okay, I've got myself a coffee, which is actually really nice. Ryanair actually do pretty decent coffee, so I can't complain too much about that. About halfway through the flight now, just about to begin our descent into Dublin, so just gonna have a coffee that will be on the ground, and we'll get to our hotel. And then I'll let you know what I think of the other add-ons budget airlines offer, because I do have some opinions about them.
If you've made it this far into the video, then why not consider becoming a YouTube channel member or a Patreon? It all goes into making videos like this one, plus you'll be getting access to some exclusive content. Landing into Dublin, that concludes the flight. But hang about, because I have a few more tips for you.
Here we are then, welcome to Dublin. Just gonna make my way to my hotel, and that's another thing. Hotels with budget airlines, if you want to save money, I would recommend looking up on a website like Expedia or hotels.com, one of those websites where you can check the hotel price, because airlines will offer you, especially budget airlines, will offer you hotel deals. Sometimes they'll get you a good deal, sometimes they won't. So it's worth comparing the hotels with the ones on Expedia, Booking.com, Hotels.com, compared to the ones that the budget airlines offer you. And as for the transportation option, most budget airlines will offer you hire cars. Sometimes I have had really good deals on car hire from Easyjet, Ryanair, WizzAir, all the other budget airlines. But 9 times out of 10, you are cheaper just going direct with a car hire company. At least from my experience. Okay, out to the airport now, just waiting on the shuttle to get to the hotel. It's not a bad day today, it's a bit overcast, but not too bad. And that was a pretty good flight, I think. But anyway, I'll get to the hotel and I'll give you my final tips for flying on budget airlines. I, by seconds, missed the shuttle. I saw it departing. So I'm here 20 minutes. There we have it, people. Ryanair from Edinburgh to Dublin, and also my tips on how to get some decent deals on budget airlines and how to save a bit of money. One thing I will say about saving money on budget airlines, the best way I can think of to save money on budget airlines is always just to try and pack as lightly as possible. And also budget airlines will try and sell you like a pre-packaged thing. They'll have like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, like cabin, flex or whatever. Never go for that. Never, ever, ever go for that. Always just add on to your flight exactly what you need. But anyway, people, those are my tips for saving money on budget airlines and how to fly budget airlines and stay on a budget and not get ripped off. If you want me to do a follow-up video on how to avoid hidden charges, let me know down below. But anyway, people, I'm going to get asleep because I'm off to AvCon and I've got my flight tomorrow over to Boston. So if you like this video, people, then you should check out this video here. And as always, people, we will see you all in the next one.